It's a pleasure to have this opportunity to address this important joint session. Your collective efforts to implement the Katowice outcomes on technology over a relatively short period of time in both policy and project terms is impressive. I congratulate all of you for your efforts. They are made more impressive, of course, by having to operate under the constraints of a global pandemic. As always, I consider your work to be pivotal to our success moving forward. Colleagues, as we are acutely aware, climate change, much like the coronavirus, recognizes no geographic boundary or political ideology. But we are also aware that the two threats are not the same. Where COVID may be our most immediate concern, climate change remains our biggest threat over the long term, a threat that is already devastating the lives and livelihoods of countless millions throughout the world. Such consequences are hardly surprising given that 2020 was among the hottest 3 years on record globally, that the past decade was the hottest in human history, that ocean heat is at record levels, and that carbon dioxide levels have never been higher. If such trends are allowed to continue, climate change is a threat to humanity's very existence on this planet. Despite this potential for disaster, nations have still not moved the Paris Agreement from adoption to implementation. By way of example, I only have to point to the recently published NDC synthesis report. Compiled to measure the combined impact of national climate action plans, the report shows that current levels of climate ambition remain very far from putting nations on a pathway that will meet the goals of the agreement to limit global temperatures to 1.5 degrees by the end of the century. And to keep those goals on track, we need to reduce global greenhouse gas emissions by 45% by the end of 2030, while drawing down massive amounts of CO2 already in the atmosphere. Yet, at the current rate, nations will achieve only less than a 1% reduction in emissions by 2030 compared to 2010 levels. The disparity could not be more glaring. It is very clear. We need stronger, more robust national climate action plans in 2021, and we need them as soon as possible. It is equally clear that technology, innovation, research, and development will continue to be a crucial part of the equation. To that end, I greatly appreciate the fact that today's discussion will include hearing from representatives from countries who have submitted their updated NDCs and will share their experiences on the role of technology in the implementation of their NDCs. I eagerly await your report for COP26, highlighting strategies that will encourage the uptake of technology solutions that will help nations drive climate action in mitigation and adaptation. COP26 will be nothing less than a credibility test for our collective efforts to address climate change, implement the Paris Agreement, and continue building climate ambition. For all parties at COP26, the message is clear. This is the time for tough decisions. This is the time for leadership, and this is the time to find the balances and compromises that can allow us all to strengthen our common efforts against the climate emergency and to unleash the full potential of the Paris Agreement. Billions are paying attention, and their expectations are high. I remain confident we will succeed. After all, governments were able to overcome difficult and complex issues in Katowice. It was a breakthrough that strengthened the Paris Agreement and opened the doors for the implementation of climate action across the globe. We can do it again. We have far to go, but momentum is on our side. I have no doubt that we can have a successful COP in November, but only with clear goals, commitments and ambition from national and local government, businesses, investors, civil society, and citizens. No voice or solution can be left behind. By working collaboratively, we can achieve the goals of the Paris Agreement. There is no other option to consider. Thank you.